Well, what's going on, fellow zombies? Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? It's only 6:35 at night. Well, getting there anyway. August 21st of a Thursday, 2025. So, things going on right now. Yesterday, there was a group that went into the Washington, D.C. Union Station, where we have National Guardsmen standing around in battle uniform, wondering, what the hell are they there in the first place? What are they guarding? A quiet train station? A transportation hub of Washington, D.C. And these guys decided to make a photo op to show and prove that their choice of dealing with stuff mattered, that they were making a difference. And how dare, until we had protesters probably on the watch, and they wanted to know what the hell was going on. They see the trio. So naturally, what would protesters like to do? Express their First Amendment rights, which has been denied constantly by the Trump administration. They don't want bad comments, they want good comments. They want to see how well they're doing, even though they are screwing over people left and right. And to make that matter known, is the protesters who yelled and screamed even with a bullhorn in the public place, making their place known. It's not private, it's public. It's government sponsored, it's government funded, and it's a government property. It's public access. Outside and inside. It's not owned by a private corporation. It's not owned by a private entity. It is publicly funded. So, in a publicly funded place, in a government accessed area, United States citizens actually demonstrated and used their First Amendment rights. I didn't catch on the videos if these were old, 90-year-old hippies. Different ages, multiracial, different sex, different ages. But they're white hippies. According to Stephen Miller, they should be back to bed. And he had a bitch concerning about people practicing their First Amendment rights. Now, this is an asshole who works in government. He went to college. I'm wondering, did he flunk Political Science 101? He probably did. Does he own a copy of the Constitution? Probably doesn't. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't care about it. Constitution's available on the internet, free of charge. He's got access to the Constitution. Does he care? No. No, because he's out there to show off what kind of a fine human beings that J.D. Vance and Hegseth and Stephen Miller are. The three darlings of the White House, who don't care about the people. They only care about getting photo ops. Vance is getting his ass booed left and right. He goes out of country, he gets booed. He goes to different places of the United States, he gets booed. Let's face it. Very few people love this guy. Miller, people want to lynch. Hegseth, they'd rather put him into a bomb container and drop him somewhere. Lousy jokes. But we're dealing with people who don't care about the public, about their safety. Of course, you show a thug with a gun and says, well, I'm doing it for your safety. By scaring the hell out of people, I'm scared the hell out of you, huh? Feel frightened yet? course, the guards are asking themselves, off camera, and away from the government eyes and ears, and maybe for private, asking themselves, what the hell did we sign up for in the first place? And truth to be told, they don't know. They don't know. Just why were they there in the first place? To make a showing. Much like the military did out in California, in Los Angeles. And basically, they started out in Los Angeles. They didn't go out to Oakland yet. They're not touching San Diego. But they will touch Oakland pretty shortly. And they always sent out the ICE agents to terrorize people. But they need the military guard to scare the people. So the ICE agents can scare people more and do their jobs of hijacking people, of kidnapping people. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. So, if this ever gets to Stephen Miller's eyes, I doubt it, because there are so many videos out there, so many comments and social media. There's no way in hell that little short shit, that yuppie, thinks that he can insult people left and right, calling them 90-year-old yippies going back to bed when they have a constitutional right to protest, which is guaranteed in the First Amendment, which we have multiple cases throughout the court systems of freedom of speech being one of the things we hold sacred. Sometimes hate speech, sometimes limited hate speech is recognized by SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States. We have rulings about that one. So what the people were saying, and yeah, they were taunting them, but they're still protesting. They have a right to have their grievances addressed, or redressed anyway. They're telling the government they suck. What they're doing is suck. Putting military into public transportation when they're supposed to be what? Out there in patrol? Guarding what? Guarding marble? Guarding white marble? You know, it's one thing if I looked at Arlington and I would see the regiment performing security, but also their assigned duties. When they guard the unknown soldier, certain times of the day, the change of guard is interesting to see, even on YouTube. I've never seen it before in person. But it would be a sight to see. If the soldiers were guarding cemeteries, I would think it would be a duty that they were performing to honor the fallen. I can get that. A train station? Really? When there had been no reported signs of violence or terrorism, and the three idiots from the White House, the Vice President, the Secretary of Defense, and the Deputy Chief of Staff, decide to do a photo op. And they end up getting the clips so they can post it online to see how well these guys are doing. And yet, some of the independents are having a field day with them because they're telling them, you guys are acting like fools and idiots. Well, that's the First Amendment for you. So, we'll see what happens. Everybody else is having a conniption fit. Everybody else is having a conniption fit. And they're going to be angry about it. Well, they should be. We're dealing with fools and idiots. As much as I have to say this out loud. And by the way, whatever happened to this religious office that they had? All these pastors, all these preachers, all these holy people. What are they doing? Besides using up taxpayer money to do nothing but be idiots. I know, judgmental. Well, okay, they're false prophets. So they get paid by the U.S. government. They're being paid by U.S. taxpayers to be false prophets, which means we just screwed up the First Amendment royally at this point. We recognized religion versus the state. And the voters of the United States approved this. Because you voted them in, guys.